Africa's democratic progress has faced a major challenge. Since 2020, military interventions have ousted elected governments in 6 countries, while 3 presidents have bypassed constitutional term limits to secure third terms. Moreover, some leaders are subtly undermining democracy by consolidating power, weakening checks and balances, and intimidating political opponents. Afrobarometer, which has tracked African citizens' democratic aspirations and experiences for 25 years, reveals a troubling trend. According to Boniface Dulani, Director of Service at Afrobarometer, the growing discontent among youth regarding democratic governance does not augur well for the future of democracy in the sub-region.
It's true that the youth, I think, are more dissatisfied with the democracy, and they also are more inclined to support authoritarian forms of government, especially military rule. I think part of the problem here and the challenge, especially for the youth, is that when you also ask our respondents what are the most important things that they want the governments to be addressing, and unemployment is, I think, a big problem, and especially for the youth. So they are looking at alternative forms of government that can help to deliver on their needs, and especially on creation of jobs.
But Ghana has been positioned among countries in Africa that are witnessing a continuous dip in their democratic scorecards. Boniface Tulani recommends immediate pragmatic measures to avert any Kenyan-like situation in Ghana.
Well, of course, I mean, this is a very big continent, so as the report highlights, there are differences from country to country. Some of the countries like Ghana, we've seen a huge drop in satisfaction with democracy. And I think the reasons, as we know many of them, the economic situation in Ghana in recent years has not been particularly great. The youth have, as I've already said, like their colleagues elsewhere, are not happy with the amount of jobs that are being created. So,
barely 5 months to the general election, immediate past EC chairman for Malawi, Dr. Chifondo Kachali, is advising the Electoral Commission of Ghana to purge itself of any suspicion in the conduct of the elections.
I think as an election management body, it's always important to remember that credibility is very important. So everything you can do to ensure that you create a level of confidence in the stakeholders about the integrity of the processes that you're managing can never be underestimated. And one of the ways to do that really is just being transparent and open about everything you're doing. Sharing information, and people should be aware of what's going on and why things are happening a certain way, removes suspicion, because where there's too much suspicion, it gives rise to a lot of conspiracy theories. Where there's transparency and accountability, people have information to actually make informed decisions.
And collaborating with...
This Afrobarometer African Insights 2024 Democracy at Risk, the People's Perspective Report, is the first in what will be an annual series on high-priority topics to distill findings from data spanning more than a decade, including the latest round of nationally representative surveys in 39 countries, representing the views of more than 3/4 of the continent's population. For Joy News, Samuel Mbura, Accra.
Future, well, I think this is something that we can all